morning, everyone. Welcome to day 5 of climbing progression. Today we are going to Taylor's Falls. We were at Taylor's Falls yesterday and it was a really great day. It was like a 5-6 hour day probably. And then my skin was absolutely trashed. We got home and I was looking through my stuff, looked at the side of my backpack and saw that my hangboard was not there. So unfortunately, or fortunately, today that means we are going back. We are on mission hangboard recovery. So I think I know where it is. It should be right off the trail when we get there. Hopefully no one's taken it. We left about dark yesterday and then I'm gonna be getting there like 9:45 today. So hopefully it's still there. Hopefully we can recover it, fingers crossed. Anyways though, the plan for today is gonna be to climb a lot of the 4s through 6s that I haven't done. I'm also gonna start on the 7s and 8s, but like I said, my skin is absolutely trashed, so we'll see how the 7s and 8s goes. I'm more likely gonna be going for, oh, was I supposed to get off here? I totally was. Oh, alright, unfortunately I just missed my exit, so I'm gonna have to wrap this up quick, but basically we're just gonna get a nice unexpected day out at Taylor's Falls. Hopefully it's a good day, hopefully my skin lasts, and I'm excited to get on the rocks, so I'll see y'all out there. Peace. But before we hop into that, we're gonna go over our sleep, food, and recovery prevention for today. So starting off with sleep, I got around 5.5 to 6 hours again. Not very good, hoping to bump those numbers up here pretty soon. I've just been kind of struggling to sleep the last week. Going into food, for the no junk food category, I think we got a 3 out of 5 today. The Belvita Crunchies got me again, and then I had a little dessert after dinner. Moving into protein, I think we got a 3 out of 5 today as well. My dinner just wasn't super protein packed, and I definitely could have had a little bit more protein in the day. For veggies, I would give myself a 3 out of 5 today as well, because I had vegetables in the day, which is good, but I definitely didn't have as many veggies as I could have. For the recovery prevention, once again, this is going to be left blank because I was just coming off a day climbing. I got back late the night before, didn't really have time to do a whole lot of recovery stuff, and then I left right away in the morning. Probably after today, I'm going to be pretty wrecked, so there might be some recovery and prevention stuff going on. Otherwise, that's all I got for you here, so let's hop into some climbing. So I made it out, hangboard acquired. I was having some trouble finding non-wet beginner routes that are next to hard routes, so right now we're just here. I'm gonna start on this V1, that's what it says. I've been here before, projected this thing for like an hour and did not get it, so we're here for revenge. Let's see what happens. Okay, now we're trying Twinkle Toes V3. Starts, I believe, here and works up these 2 slopers to the top. We'll see. Okay, we're on to another V3. This one is Spread Eagle. Starts down and right, works left, and then up. Now we're doing the straight up version, which is just not going to these two bolts instead of using this, and I'm guessing that. Dude. Around this point, I kind of stopped doing talking intros while I was there, but this route was a 1-star route, and as I was doing it, I promised myself that I was not going to do any 1-star routes because it kind of sucked. But then we moved on. The next thing we did was get over to Kill Kittens. This is one of the only V7s that was actually available because there's like 4 or 5 on this side, but most of them are in potholes, which are underwater right now. So I didn't know that, and I went here, and this was the only one I saw. It ended up being pretty cool, but in a second here, you'll hear something that you never want to hear. The movement on this one's really cryptic and technical, but fortunately, Zach Brommel has a video on it. My boy Zach Brommel came through, followed his beta exactly, and then figured out the moves. In one attempt here, you'll see me reach for the lip, and it looks like I just fell off and didn't hit the lip, but in reality, I actually hit the lip. It's just an absolute mega jug, so as soon as I hit it, I was like, oh, okay, that's fine, and I dropped off. But this route definitely would go. I just, as you see here, I popped something in my elbow, it kind of started to hurt. You'll see I give it a burn or 2 more, but then I decided I should probably call it quits as not to injure myself because it was still the start of the day and I really wanted to do a lot more. As you'll see here, the fall on this one is pretty rough, but honestly, it feels a lot safer than it might look, and the movement was surprisingly fun, very my style. Start move took me 2 attempts. I did dab there, unfortunately, so you know me, of course, I'm gonna have to get a better angle, better shot, no dab. So that angle was actually very clean. Moves on the top out are actually the scariest part for sure, except that the holds are pretty good if you go off to the left. It's just that you're a little more over the water. And in my first attempt, actually one of the holds that I was grabbing up there, like a jug, kind of crumbled. Luckily my other hand was on, so I did not fall into the river, but it was a close one. So in this video of Lunge or Plunge, you can't see the ground or where the pads are, and I was a little freaked out by the last move. So in this first attempt here, you'll see me hesitate a little bit and kind of just try the fall to see if I was gonna fall on the pads or not. But then I actually commit to it in the next go, so we'll see what happens. Moving on to Grumpy Old Men. Literally no clue what this thing was. I read in the guidebook and on Mountain Project, could not figure out what to do. The seam where I'm reaching to is literally not a hold. So I don't know what people were doing. I was trying some other betas, going just kind of back out right to the horn. Felt very hard, wanted to save myself. But now we work into this one, absolute classic at Interstate. This is Digitalis Prow. I've done this one before. But as you see here, no flash. So I of course do it again, but then once again go back to my boy Zach Rommel. He got me with the beta and did the right beta this time and actually stick the move. So this route, slick sides, I have actually done before as well. This one is a super nice climb. Honestly, maybe my favorite of the day. Just very classic movement. The only bad thing is the start is like pretty high off the ground, and if you're short, it would be kind of tough to do. That's why I only gave it 3 stars, but you'll see here, and after I do it in this attempt, I actually go back, do it again because it's really fun. I messed up the beta on that one, but I decided that I wasn't going to leave it on a bad note. So I said, you know what, I'll do it again, even though that fall kind of hurt my ankles, but I didn't want to end on a bad note. So here we are again on this slick side scrap. So I actually had 2 attempts on this already. but I didn't start recording. I did not hit either of them, so it must have been because I wasn't recording, so now I'm just gonna do it.
Sure, bud. So off camera, there was actually 13 attempts in there, or that was my 13th attempt at the boulder, and I finally did stick it, but apparently I forgot to put my phone in 0.5 mode, so I needed a better video, of course. And in the description, either in the book or on Mountain Project, I can't remember, one of them said that like the semi-detached block to the right is off.
My leg is hitting over here, but I'm not like using it.
So this route, Graham Cracker, probably the most underrated route of the day for me. This one was like really fun movement. The only bad thing about it was it's super short. It's actually the more obvious line on this boulder. Like the dyno is like an eliminate technically. So this line just makes more sense and the movement's super good. Once again, wanted some better beta, wanted a cleaner attempt, so here we are on a cleaner attempt. Moving on to whatever this is, I promised myself I wasn't going to do any more one-star routes, so this is a random V6, and this was my best attempt at it, and it just really didn't feel good. My skin was pretty trashed, and they were micro crimps, and I don't know what the hell was going on. Last up on the list for today, we have Lloyd's Crack. This one is actually a really fun climb. The only downside is that the start is really wonky. I actually pad stacked in this first attempt here, so you'll see me try and do it again with a cleaner attempt that I didn't pad stack to get into.
So I just left the park. It is 5:02. Got there at 9:45 until 5:02, so got 7 hours in. Very long day. My skin is completely wrecked, and I will definitely be taking 2 rest days. I don't know how many routes I did. I'm hoping to put up like a little like screenshot here, like text saying how many routes I did. I went into it wanting to climb a bunch of easier routes and just get a lot of volume in, a lot of climbing in. When I was doing the Kill Kittens, the V7, I got a big takeaway from that of like really not trying to push myself like past the point of injury. At one point my elbow cracked on it, like kind of like when your fingers pop. I think it was that type of thing. But when you do that under tension, a lot of times it can create like some inflammation, and so it basically just hurts to use it from then on. So I gave it a couple more attempts, but it just hurt, and I realized like I could do the route, but it was at risk of injuring myself, so I really didn't want to do that. Pretty proud of myself for knowing when to back off. So anyways, I'm about to stop at a quick trip, head home, get some soup, go to trivia, and then take some rest. So hope y'all enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe. See y'all next time. Peace.